What it do, good people? It's your man, Bafadam Dini, aka Sir, and you know you are watching the Ear Read Project content creation. I don't know what to call it anymore. I used to call it a podcast because back then I used to do podcasts, but right now I'm calling it content creation. Guys, it was mind blowing. I don't know how I got to this, to finding out this stuff, but it's crazy how little some teachers are making in this world. South Africa, I'm doing this video because South Africa is experiencing a very difficult time with regards to the education system. I believe that they have laid off a lot of people due to financial strain. But, education is a very critical part of a country's progress. And if you take away the education system of a country, you're actually destroying the entire future of that country. Because, you have to make sure that kids are trained so that they can be able to meet tomorrow's job market. I think I will do more content with regards to education with the coming episodes. Are these even episodes? I don't know. But I did some digging and I found out that the highest paid teachers are not even in the United States. Some of you might think that they're in the United States or Britain or UK. Listen, bro, there's a place called Luxembourg. I don't even know. I didn't even know that there was a country named Luxembourg, right? Luxembourg. The teachers in that country are making, an average of $70,000 to $100,000 per annum. That's like per year. So if you divide that 100,000, so I'm just gonna take the 100,000, right? The 100,000. If you divide the 100,000 by 12 months, then you are left with like the teacher is making 800, not 800, but $8,333 a month. So that's the equivalent of 150,000 rands. So the teacher in Luxembourg is making 150,000 rands a month as compared to a South African teacher. I will tell you what a South African teacher is making in dollars and rands, but let's just go to another example. So the second a country I'm going to take, I jumped Switzerland, which is, also a good country. They pay their teachers between, $60,000 to $90,000 a year. So you can convert that if you want to, into into a monthly payment, and then eventually into, you know, and you can convert it into rands if you want to. So let's take Germany. So Germany is the third, right? It's the third best paying, country when it comes to their teachers. So Germany is paying their teachers between $50,000 to $80,000, right? So if you divide $80,000 by 12, which is the 12 months in the year, then you get 6,666. That actually means that a teacher in Germany is making $6,666 in a month. Now, that's the equivalent of 120,000 rands. That's an equivalent of 120,000 rands. Lastly, I will take the United States because it's the most popular country, right? It's not the best, because you still have Canada. Canada is still paying their teachers between $40,000 and $90,000, but we'll jump Canada and go straight to the United States. The United States is paying the teachers between $50,000 and $70,000 a year. So if you divide $70,000, so I took the highest. If you divide $70,000 by 12, then you get $5,883, right? That means a teacher in the United States might be making $5,833 a month. Now, if you convert it to South African rands, that teacher is making 105,000 rands in a month. basically these people are millionaires, man, in South Africa. You know what I'm saying? But then let's before I get to South Africa, I want to discuss the lowest paid teachers in the world, right? This is according to ChatGPT, by the way. You know, I don't know if the information is accurate, but I think it's giving us a rough estimate of how much these teachers might be making. So let's start with Kenya. Kenya is seems to be the better one, amongst the rest of them. But I think South Africa is doing much better because South Africa is paying their teachers between, I believe, $16,000 and yeah, $22,000 a year, right? That's little, but that's something. So I mean, but that's the in how do I put this? So in Kenya, right, an average teacher is making between $3,000, but they're making less than what an American teacher is making in a month, in a year. Now, like I'm gonna try to convert it to you like this. Like so, in Kenya, right, a teacher is paid $3,000 to about $7,000 per annum. So if you divide $7,000 by 12, then you get 530, 30, no, not 30, but $583, right? $583 a month. That means a teacher in Kenya is making $583. He's making less than a miner is making in South Africa, because the miners in South Africa, if you convert that 583 into rands, then you are talking about 10.5. That's 10,500 rands. That's how much a teacher in Kenya is making. The teacher is not even making as much as a mine worker, right? I used to make more than these people. I used to make about 15,000 rands, when I was working at some company, and I was just a general worker. I was not even, employed as an official, or I was not even employed as a skilled worker. You understand? Now I'll jump Vietnam, which is also paying their people their teachers between $3,000 and $7,000. I will also jump Ethiopia, which is also paying their teachers between $1,000 and $3,000 per annum. And then I will jump straight to Cambodia. Cambodia is paying their teachers $2,000 to about $4,000. So if you divide 4,000 divided by 12, these teachers are making, well, I didn't calculate this one properly. I didn't write it. But I think you get the picture, right? From, what the figure I gave you with Kenya, because Kenya, they are paying their teachers between $3,000 and $7,000. And if you divide the $7,000, I'm taking the highest amount, right? Which is $7,000. I divide it by 12. And then when you divide the $7,000 per annum by 12, that gives you the amount of money they're paid in a month. So that is $583. And then if you're paid $583 and you convert it to South African rands, then that amounts to $10,500. So now let's come to South Africa. In South Africa, apparently, according to ChatGPT, the teachers in South Africa are making about 185,000 to 250,000, right? So if you divide the 250,000, so I'm taking the highest amount paid, right? If you're taking the 250,000 per annum and you divide it by 12, then you get something like 20,833, right? And so if you divide the 20,803 by 12, right, then the average teacher in South Africa is making $1,157 every month. So, yep, ladies and gentlemen, South Africans teachers are making $1,157 a month, as compared to an American teacher, per month they are making 5 times what South African teachers are making. So you have to respect the teachers, bro. You have to respect African teachers who produce the likes of Elon Musk. Because yeah, you can do whatever you want, but Elon Musk did his basic education in South Africa. So we don't care, bro, if he's in America right now, in the American, places they, shining bright. But he is a product of the South African education system. Understand what I'm saying? I believe he might have went to better schools, maybe those schools that are a bit more sophisticated. I believe that he went to some boys' high, which was a boarding school. So those were called, not before they were called multiracial schools. They were basically, white schools or private schools. They were private in terms of, race. You understand? But then as time went on, with the integration happening, it was allowed for black students to go and study there. And now we then call them multiracial schools. They're not necessarily your average South African, township school. So it makes me wonder, what is South Africa producing as far as from the township? Because most of the superstars and the athletes, in South Africa actually went to those kind of schools, multiracial schools. So it seems like the quality of the school that you go to actually determines where you might end up in life. But that's not necessarily true, though. Maybe we need to debunk that myth. I'm just making assumptions. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to share this knowledge that, you should respect our teachers. And I think South Africa needs to do better. We need to definitely improve in terms of our teacher pays, because I don't think with these, amounts, paid to our teachers, I don't think we are headed in the right direction. Because damn, bro, the CEO of Sibanya alone is making 140% more than any, most of the salaries, I believe. So it's like crazy. South Africa is a crazy place. But yeah, I just wanted to share with you, these crazy, figures, because they just fascinated me. I just couldn't stop going like, what? So yeah, it's still your man, Sir, man. See you on the next vid. Like, share, subscribe, spread the word. We out here. Peace.